Welcome to Nalanda International Independent PU College. I'm Dr. Geeta Zj, giving you the presentation in business studies. Students, today we are going to see the management as art or science. Yesterday we saw the objectives and importance of management, and then I gave the introduction in management as science or art. And today we are going to see all the features in detail. What is art? Art is a skillful and personal application of existing knowledge to achieve desired results. It can be acquired through study, observation, and experience. Since art is concerned with personal application of knowledge, some kind of ingenuity and creativity is required to practice the basic principles learnt. Here, the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in visual form such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for the beauty or emotional power. So, first we are going to see the management as an art. Management is an art because the manager uses his skills and knowledge in his day to day activities for achieving the goals of the organization. Management can be said as an art since it satisfies the following criteria. First one is a successful manager practices the art of management in the day to day job of managing an enterprise based on study, observation, and experience. There is a lot of literature available in various areas of management like marketing, finance, and human resources, which the manager has to specialize in. There is existing of theoretical knowledge. And the second one is there are various theories of management as propounded by many management thinkers, which prescribe certain universal principles. A manager applies these scientific methods and body of knowledge to a given situation, an issue or problem in his own unique manner. A good manager works through combination of practice, creativity, imagination, initiative and innovation. A manager achieves perfection after long practice. Students of management also applies these principles differently depending on how creative they are. A manager applies this acquired knowledge in a personalized and skillful manner in the light of the realities of a given situation. He is involved in the activities of the organization, studies critical situation, and formulates his own theories for use in a given situation. This gives rise to different styles of management. Now, we are going to see the basic feature of art. The first one is existence of theoretical knowledge. Art presupposes the existence of certain theoretical knowledge. Experts in their respective areas have derived certain basic principles which are applicable to a particular form of art. For example, literature on dancing, public speaking, acting, or music is widely recognized. The next one is personalized application. Here, the use of the basic knowledge varies from individual to individual. Art, therefore, is a very personalized concept. For example, two dancers, two speakers, two actors, or two writers will always differ in demonstrating their art. The next feature of an art is based on practice and creativity. All art is practical. Art involves the creative practice of existing theoretical knowledge. We know that all music is based on seven basic notes. However, what makes a composition of a musician unique or different is his use of his notes in a creative manner that is entirely his own interpretation. The best managers are committed and dedicated individuals, highly trained and educated with personal qualities such as ambition, self motivation, creativity, and imagination. A desire for development of the self and organizations they belong to. All management practices are based on the same set of principles. What distinguishes a successful manager from a less successful one is the ability to put these principles into practice. So the next one is management is a science. Science is a systematically organized body of knowledge. It is based on logically observed findings, facts, and events. So here we are going to see the basic features of science, which we are going to find in the next slide. Here are the three features of science. One is systematized body of knowledge, principles based on experimentation, and universal validity. The first one is systematized body of knowledge. We are going to call this science as a systematic body of knowledge. Its principles are based on a cause and effect relationship. For example, the phenomenon on a apple falling from a tree towards the ground is explained by the law of gravity. Second one is principles based on experimentation. Scientific principles are first developed through observation and then tested through repeated experimentation under controlled conditions. And the third one is universal validity. Scientific principles have universal validity and application. So, based on these features, we can say that management has come, which has some characteristics of science. The first one is management has a systematic body of knowledge. It has its own theory and principles that have developed over a period of time. So, here, the management as a science, we can say that although management as a systematized body of knowledge, they cannot be compared with the principles of physical science, which are definite and exact. And the principles of management have evolved over a period of time based on repeated experimentation and observation in different types of organizations. Since management deals with human beings and human behavior, the outcomes of these experiments are not capable of being accurately predicted or replicated. Therefore, management can be called an inexact science. Despite these limitations, management scholars have been able to identify general principles of management. And also, since the principles of management are not as exact as principles of science, their application and its use is not universal. They have to be modified according to the given situation. However, they provide managers with certain standardized techniques that can be used in different situations. These principles are also used for training and development of managers. So, here we have to understand that from the foregoing discussion, the management has features of both art and science. The practice of management is an art. However, the managers work better if the practice is based on the principles of management. These principles constitute the science of management. So, the management as an art and a science are therefore not mutually exclusive but complement each other. Management has the features of practice as well as the management is an art. When practice of a manager is based on the principles, so it is a science. Such principles constitute the science of management. So, students, we saw management as both science and art. To say very simple, the practice of management is an art. When that practice of managers is based on the principles, it is science. Now, we are going to see management is a profession. A profession is an occupation backed by specialized knowledge and training, and to which entry is regulated by a representative body. We have understood that so far that all forms of organized activity need to be managed. You would have also observed that organizations look for individuals with specific qualification and experience to manage them. It has also been observed that there has been an increase in the corporate form of business on one hand, as well as increasing emphasis on managed business concern. Does this imply the management is a profession? To answer this question, let us examine the salient feature of a profession and see whether management satisfies them. So, management as a profession, the first feature is well defined body of knowledge. All professions are based on a well defined body of knowledge that can be acquired through instruction, that is developed by management experts. The second feature is restricted entry. The entry to a profession is restricted through an examination or through acquiring an educational degree. For example, to become a chartered accountant in India, A candidate has to clear a specific examination conducted by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Management requires formal education and training provided by formal institutions like universities, professional organizations such as Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, IIM, etc. The next feature of management as a profession is professional association. All professions are affiliated to a professional association which regulates entry, grants certificate of practice, and formulates and enforces a code of conduct. To be able to practice in India, lawyers have to become members of Bar Council which regulates and controls their activities. The next feature is ethical codes of conduct. All professions are bound by a code of conduct which guides the behavior of its members. All doctors, for example, take the oath of ethical practice at the time they enter the profession. The next feature is service motive. The basic motive of a profession is to serve the client's interest by rendering dedicated and committed service. The task of the lawyer is to ensure that his client gets justice. Management does not meet the exact criteria of a profession, however, it does have some of the features of a profession. All over the world, there is marked growth in management as a discipline. It is based on a systematic body of knowledge comprising well defined principles based on a variety of business situations. This knowledge can be acquired at different colleges and professional institutes and through a number of books and journals. The subject of management is taught at different institutions. Some of these have been set up with a specific purpose of providing management education, such as Indian Institutes of Management, that is IIM in India. Entry to different institutes is usually through an examination. And the next one is there is no restriction on anyone being designated or appointed as manager in any business enterprise. Anyone can be called as a manager irrespective of the educational qualification possessed. Unlike professions such as medicine or law, which require a practicing doctor or lawyer to possess valid degrees. Nowhere in the world is it mandatory for a manager to possess any such specific degree. But professional knowledge and training is considered to be a desirable qualification since there is greater demand for those who possess degree or diplomas from reputed institutions. Therefore, as such, the second criterion has been strictly met. And the next one is there are several association of practicing managers in India like AIMA, that is All India Management Association, that has laid down a code of conduct to regulate the activities of the members. There is, however, no compulsion for managers to be members as association, nor does it have any statutory backing. And the one more thing, that is the basic purpose of management is to help the organization achieve its stated goal. This may be profit maximization for a business enterprise and serve for a hospital. However, a profit maximization is the objective of management does not hold true and is fast changing. Therefore, if an organization has a good management, with a team that is efficient and effective, it automatically serves society by providing good qualities and also with a good product at a reasonable prices. So here we are going to say that management is a profession. And now the home assignment. The question is management is both art and science justify. This question is very important and it is repeatedly asked by the board exam in March 2019 as well as March 2020. So this question is for 8 marks. So prepare your assignments and if you have any doubts, you can call me over the phone. Thank you, students.